I've never been great at telling short stories, but one of the logical beginnings to this one was when Jackie Joseph and I co-founded Equal Playing Field to combat the scourge of violence against women and children in Papua New Guinea. In PNG, the rates were so high that Médecins Sans Frontières considered them an epidemic. It was a grim accolade not given to any other country outside of a war zone. As two virtual strangers, Jackie and I became family, and we grew an organisation to be one of the largest local organisations in the country. The Endless Eye Saga owes a lot to PNG. It's given me some of my greatest trials and joys. Much of that has inspired what's on the page. Though EPF started with adults, we quickly moved to children, and working in settlement communities, even there, as we're doing our programs, we had drunks abusing children. We quickly moved into schools only to find that they had no child protection, that they were still using corporal punishment. We developed the nation's first respectful relationship education program. We moved on to work with the leading universities and schools across the country, developing the Safe Schools framework for the prevention, identification and response to violence and abuse against women and children. There's so much to be proud of. Tens of millions raised, tens of thousands impacted. But let me tell you a harsher truth, that when we identified a lot of these issues, we found a system broken. When we offered to help audit numerous facilities authorised with the care, out-of-home care facilities, we were stonewalled. We obtained information that abuse was happening inside these facilities and that the people with the power to do something about it knew and had done nothing. We've heard only a tiny fraction of these cases of children that have been beaten, raped, enslaved and murdered, but we have heard enough. We decided that one day we would build our own facility to work alongside our work in education. It was a softly spoken wish we feared to say aloud in case we failed. That brings me to one of the great whys of this story. It came from a promise. Bougainville province, Jackie's birthplace, a people still impacted by a decades-long war. We'd built something beautiful there, watched people flourish, and then the political winds changed and the funds dried up. I said I'd fix it, I couldn't, and it haunted me. Felt like my failure. I became an ultra runner to try and raise money, and we did, but it wasn't enough. I knew that we'd keep running into these troubles if I didn't find a way to create something separate from the organisation that could be successful, and I could use that to help fund EPF. So with my own funds, I set up Studio Gyrus. I took a story I'd written for the kids and turned it into a digital art collection. An online community started to grow around it. We had people interested in law. I was writing the screenplay. A friend said, this story would make a great video game. Next minute, we have investors. We've sold a bunch of digital art. I have 13 staff members from across the world designing and building. We even managed to donate 50K to EPF. I had this grand vision that I could build the next great fantasy franchise. And in doing so, not only could we make something awesome, but we could save lives and impact the world. Then the market crashed. We got defrauded, investment in projects like mine disappeared, and I had to let all the team go. I fell into a deep depression, relationships failed, life was in a bit of a shambles. But something told me there was magic in this story. Just like in the beginning with EPF, when I was living off my last savings with 2 kids, so many people said, you made a good effort, you know, you can move on now. But in the words of the great Rocky Balboa, you got to keep moving forward. If this was ever going to get picked up, I needed to write the source material. I needed to write the books before anyone would care about making the movies. I completed the first novel in 2023 and I was like, oh yes, so good. We're done. Here we go. And many people liked it and some were confused. They didn't fully understand it. And so, like many times, you think you're at the top of the mountaintop, but then there's another peak, you know, hidden behind the clouds. Again, I wrote hundreds of drafts, many rewrites and editors, mostly in solitude until nearly everyone that had followed had disappeared. But now we're here, ready for the world to see it. But there's still higher peaks to climb and I need your help. When we do launch, 10% of every copy will be going straight into an EPF controlled bank account, separate from everything else. It won't be touched until we reach 1 million kina. That's just the beginning. I will not try to recoup any of the personal or business funds spent in the last 6 years developing this first novel. Meanwhile, Jackie and the team in PNG will be looking for suitable land and matched investment so we can build a care home for those most in need. It'll be a place where we can continue to develop our child protection and education strategies in a way where we can better ensure safety and measure outcomes, with the intention of these strategies and solutions being replicated across the country. And that might seem like a pipe dream, but this is what we do and what we have done for 15 years. I pledge in perpetuity that percentage for anything involved with the saga. There's 7 books in here and as many films at least. I was reluctant to even come out here and talk about the connection with EPF. I want it to stand alone because that's the way that it becomes a sustainable model. If people don't love the product, then this will be a flash in the pan. So if you don't want the book, you can just donate. Ahead of The Sound of Trees Standing going on sale, I'll have advanced reader copies, which is essentially a way for authors to get reviews and feedback ahead of a proper launch. If you want to read or listen, just reach out to me or look in the bio. Like, share, engage in whatever way you can. If you're a marketer, influencer, podcaster, if you're an artist that reads or listens and thinks that's really cool and you'd like to be involved, please reach out. If you have a book club and you would be willing to have this advanced copy as part of your cycle, that'd be great. And I'll even do my best to come and say hello when you guys meet. So thank you. I know that was a long one, but hopefully you're still here. And in the words of the Jalu, the darkness is growing, Puali, and the world needs your help.